I think he could be a good guard. I like what I saw from him. Darrell Williams is much better at guard than tackle. You mentioned his contract number. I have it in front of me right now. Where is it? $9.9 million cap hit scheduled for 2021. Yeah, that's not happening.
That's not happening.
They could save $6.3 million if they cut him. I agree with you. I think they might look like they did last year, I believe, with Vernon Butler for sure. And I think it might have been Addison as well. They kind of reworked the deal. I could see them going to him and saying, we want you back, but we not at this number. And maybe they could work something out. And I think they're going to pick up a guard, whether it's free agency or, maybe anywhere from like, say, a second to fifth round pick in the draft.
Yep.
But anyway, just as a whole, for me, a bright spot was the offensive line came together late in the season because it was very, you go to that Colts game, you go to that Jacksonville game where they were under siege that whole game. And they turned it around late in the season. That was a good bright spot for me.
But did they turn it around, or did the coaching staff finally start game planning and putting them in a position to play the way that they play? I mean, it was clear. So I don't want to say it was all the line. I don't want to say it was all the coaching. Obviously Devin Singletary became more decisive, right, around that Carolina game as well. He became more decisive in his cuts, more decisive in his runs. He started falling forward. One cut decisions. The kid, it's the amount of times towards the end of the season, the Devin Singletary was out in space with a guy, and I'm yelling at the TV, make him miss, right? And he did. Like, the dude could still make a guy miss in a phone booth. Devin Singletary has that shake you want. If that kid had speed, he'd be the best running back in the NFL. It's unbelievable.
The switch went on for him.
Yeah,
but he played a part for sure.
So that coupled with, at some point in time, right after that Patriots-Bucks loss, the coaching staff, in my opinion, were like, it's time to stop dicking around. Like, the season is going down the drain. So let's stop doing what we want to do and do what we know we can do, which is pin and pull, right? And running Devin Singletary behind an offensive line that can pin and pull, because Zach Moss is more of a wide zone running back, which was completely unsuccessful. So for me, that offensive line cohesion, Ryan Bates was a big part of that because he solidified that left guard part, which is funny because he wasn't a guard. We were told he was a tackle that could play center.
Yeah.
So he was the backup center behind Mitch Morse. So therefore we can't play him because if Mitch Morse gets hurt, we're screwed because we won't have a center. And then he jumps in at guard, and John Fina will tell you that, like, jumping around left to right, different things, different positions is not easy. Like, it's almost impossible. And Ryan Bates walked in to left guard, and as soon as he took the first snap, it was like, oh, this offensive line can be good.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what we saw to finish the season. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they draft. I think Ryan Bates puts him in a position to not have to draft a guard at 27 or wherever they're drafting. They're not going to have to draft a guard at 27. Will they draft a center is the question, whoever Mitch Morse's replacement is. That'll be interesting.
I'll say this much. The bright spot might be that it's not necessarily, it doesn't need to be an overhaul with this offensive line. After watching that Colts game, I'm like, dude, this offensive line sucks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But you go now into this offseason, your two tackle spots are solidified. Spencer Brown is definitely the right tackle.
Yes.
Deion Dawkins is definitely the left tackle. Ironically, I thought Mitch Morse, who I could consider his own bright spot this year, because he was hurt a lot last year. He's had concussion problems. Wasn't really fully healthy. Got benched at one point. I mean, it wasn't official that he got benched, but
sure,
he didn't start a game that we felt like he should have. Anyway, This year, he was solid. He was very good this year. So I'm good with him coming back for his last year of his contract.
Yep.
And Bates conceivably could start going forward. So maybe you get one guard this offseason. And you want to get better depth too, because Cody Ford is without question gone. Ike Bocker's a free agent.
He's gone.
I don't see him coming back.
Bucker's a free agent, but he's also going to be recovering from an Achilles injury, which is the kiss of death for NFL players. They don't recover well from Achilles injuries.
Yep, exactly. So anyway, just the offensive line not necessarily needing to be overhauled this offseason to me is a bright spot.